certain Israelites because of persecution that they was getting from the Romans. All right, and then Herod was on. He was seeking for Yahweh Shah he sought to take his life and all that. So they had to flee to Egypt. All right, you had Israelites down in one particular part, Alexandria. You got the Alexandrian Jews. All right. You go into history, it tell you that over 1 million Jews. All right. I was saying the book from Babylon to Timbuktu. Over 1 million Jews fell into to Africa. Egypt is in Africa. All right. It says, "What shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush." Cush is the so-called Ethiopians. All right. And from Elam, the so-called East Indians, and from Shinar, and from Hamat, and from the islands of the sea. All right, so, and these are the nations, these are some of the nations, all right, that the Most High is going to, bring Israelites out of, man. And like I said, they're going to be Israelites from all nations, okay? It says, verse 12, "And he shall set up an ensign for the nations." Right? The ensign is in place right now. You can see it. You see us out here. You see me out here. You see other brothers out there. You see the elder apostles out there. All right? It says, "And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth." So that's exactly what I said earlier. What I mentioned earlier. The Most High is actually assembling us. All right. You got Israelites among all people, man. I don't give a fuck if you go over here to cross the bridge over here to St. Joe. Over here, it's mainly populated by Esau. A lot of Edomites, man. It's basically Edomite neighborhood. All right. You got Jake's over there, man. All right. There's a guy right now, first shift supervisor at the current job I have to punching it out. This guy, I think he said he was from Chicago. I forget what he said he's from. I remember saying he used to work in Chicago with none but black people. He said everybody who was around him was black. He had a few whites there, but the point I want to make is he was like, all he used to hang out with was black people. This motherfucker don't got the swagger of this guy, man. He don't got the swagger of no fucking Edomite, man. This dude walk like fucking. Who got a cool walk, man? Oh, he got a walk of he walked kind of like Allen Iverson, right? And he used to play sports real heavy. He was, we talk shit, but we talk shit about sports a lot. But he was talking about how much he loved martial arts and shit like that. How much he get into it. And I believe he said he used to do it real heavy. But this dude talked just like a so-called Negro, man. I mean, this dude got swagger, man. I mean, I'm like, yo, this dude gotta be a fucking Jake, man. And he ain't even, he ain't trying. You can tell when someone's faking it, you know what I mean? This guy, man, I'm telling you, man, this guy is, he's one of them cool ass down to earth Jakes, man, that you can tell that he ain't comfortable with his flesh, but he's sure himself though. But you could tell he feel out of place because he looked like a so-called white man, pretty much. But I believe, because you got a lot of Italians, you know, they used to be in Chicago, and they was Jakes, man. But they would be back and forth from Chicago to here. You know, Chicago and here got a lot of roots together, a lot of history together. You know, a lot of those Italians just come here and chill, because this was like a nice, relaxing countryside town or city, whatever you want to call it. Really like, you know, it's really like mainly like a town, but hey, they say it's a city. But a lot of those Italian Jakes used to come here and chill, you know, get away from the city life and shit like that. And this is like a small city life that used to be here. And it's like, you know, it was basically a countryside town, all right, but you have a few things that remind you of the city. You know, like this trip I'm on right now, this downtown area right now that I'm on, all right. And those guys will often come here, and I'm sure they made kids here, all right. I'm sure they made kids here, all right. And that's what Jake do. He make kids wherever they go. All right. So you're gonna have Israelites, all right, that look like the guy I'm talking about my job. But he, like I said, his whole demeanor, his whole swagger is Jake, man. You're gonna see Israelites looking like that get beamed up on chariots, man. You're gonna see Israelites that look like that in the camps, as you do this very day. You got some Judites in the camp, they look like so-called white dudes. It's like Edomite, man. But they're Judites, man. They're from the tribe of Judah. You got Issachar. Hey, all the 12 tribe men deal with Edomite women, man. All right. That's been trending for some time now. When they openly get with Edomite women and having a lot of kids, man. I see not just one. I know a few Israelite men that have 6, 7 kids by Edomite women. I see it with my own eyes. I work with I believe one. And the crazy thing is, all the kids that he had with her, I think she showed me a picture of they all look like Ishkarites. The daughter looked like you know, she kind of looked like an Edomite woman a little bit, but all his sons look like straight up Ishkarite men. Though their mother is an Edomite. They popping them, man. Jake popping them and leaving seed there, man. That's why when you go into these different the history of these different captivities, when Jake was there, you best believe Jake was having sex with their women, man. All right. Even right now. All right. It's a lot of Jakes that live in certain cities over in China. No, Korean women love Jake, man. Shit. Jake's over there popping them, man. They look to marry a so-called Negro. All right, them Judite males, man. They like them Judite males over there, man. You know, they look to marry him. All right, they actually love Jake, man. So not only slavery left our, through slavery left our seed there. Also, even right now, Jake is still leaving seed in different places they travel to. All right, think about all the wars that Jake fought in. All right, even during the wars in this current kingdom, you got Jake that was fighting these wars, and when they was fighting these wars, they was over there popping those women. Okay, I know a guy that has like over 20 plus kids. All right, in Vietnam. This man almost 100. He's still living right now. Old Jake, man, about 6'2", real slim build, ride his bike still, go for walks. You know, he was a Buffalo Soldier, right? All right, he's living right here. All right, and he's still kicking, man. But he got 20 plus kids overseas, man, in Vietnam. And he got over 20 some kids here in the States. And you know, he was stationed on, I believe, because he traveled the world. See, in the military, you travel the world. All right? You travel the world. All right? Some do different tours. And you travel and you station there. Sometimes you station there for a long while. So Jake can start going out to the, into the city wherever he's at, whatever country he's landed in. He go off into the cities and he meet different women, man. And they popular, man. Okay? And so you have Israelites. Again, you have Israelites. That's you know what I'm saying, out in these different lands. Okay? Let's get some more precepts. Isaiah, I'm gonna jump over to Isaiah the 56th chapter. Isaiah 56, verse 8. The Lord power which gathered the outcasts of Israel said, yet will I gather others to him beside those that are gathered to him. So, again, the Most High is going to gather those Israelites that was removed because of slavery, being carried away into captivity. All right, they're gonna return, man. All right, the Most High is going to gather them. All right, let's go get some more scripts about Gentiles. So you go into the word Gentile, right? It simply just means foreigner, but you have other meanings to it as well. All right, being one that look up the word Gentile. The word gentilis actually means, it says, of or belonging to the same nation. So, you go in the New Testament, Paul was sent to the Gentiles, right? And when Paul was sent to the Gentiles, he began to teach them. All right, he began to teach them. Now, when you look at the Gentiles that Paul was teaching, were they actually foreigners, or were they Israelites? All right, this is the book of Acts, chapter 9, and let's see. Read up a little bit. Let's read up a little bit. But this is actually Saul. This is actually Paul. When he was Saul being changed to Paul. Okay, so what was his name? I'm sorry, his name is changed from Saul to Paul. I'm gonna read at the top of Acts the 9th chapter. It says, "And Saul, yet breathing out threatenings and slaughter against the disciples of the Lord, went unto the high priest, and desired of him letters to Damascus, to the synagogues, that if he found any of this way, whether they were men or women, he might bring them bound unto Jerusalem. And as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined round about him a light from heaven." And so, I'm just laughing because it reminds me of the scene at the mount. I'm just visioning, the mount when the mount caught fire. But anyways, so, the Mount Sinai. Anyways, though, it says, Jake was like, speak with us, at least we die, because when our people requested to speak with the Most High, and they see the Most High period is fire, the mountain caught fire. That scared Jake, But this is a light from heaven, though, So, somebody over there walking. It says, and as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined round about him a light from heaven. And he fell to the earth, and heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? Because remember, Saul was persecuting the church. He just mentioned at the beginning of the chapter that he was threatening and shouting words of slaughter towards the Lord's disciples. All right. It says, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? And this is in red. This is Yahweh Shai speaking to Paul, or Saul at the time. And he said, verse 5, and he said, Who art thou, Lord? And the Lord said, I am Yahweh Shai, whom thou persecutest. It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. And he trembling and astonished said, Lord, what wilt thou have me to do? And the Lord said unto him, Arise and go into the city, and it shall be told thee what thou must do. All right, so pretty much, pretty much, Yahweh Shai came to Saul in his travels, right? All right, now.
Where you at out here, holding?
Yeah, I'm teaching out here. I'm rolling the camera. I'm teaching brothers on YouTube and see.
Oh, okay.
On YouTube. Doing all right?
Oh yeah.
All right. Oh no,
Get back! Get over here.
All right, now I'll see you later, man.
Yeah, all right, baby.
Your money hanging out your pocket.
Man, y'all have no dog. No telling what else came out.
Yeah. All right, be safe, man.
Yeah.
All right, now. Get on. There you go.
Get on over here,
Oh, Jake, I see running down the neighborhood. He don't really bother nobody. Jake about to lose his money and everything. All right, so verse 6, it says, I'm gonna continue on. I'm gonna just read on down. So Yahweh Shai asked him why he basically persecuting him. And verse 5 continues to say, and he said, Who art thou, Lord? And the Lord said, I am Yahweh Shai, whom thou persecutest. It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. And he trembling and astonished said, Lord, what wilt thou have me to do? And the Lord said to him, Arise and go into the city, and it shall be told thee what thou must do. So this is actually Yahweh Shai coming to him, all right, personally. All right. Now, him and the other Israelites face being bowed to the earth, because of the brightness, all right, of Yahweh Shai coming to him. But he bowed his face to the earth instantly, while Yahweh Shai was speaking with him. Verse 7. And the men which journeyed with him stood speechless, hearing a voice, but seeing no man. And Saul arose from the earth, and when his eyes were opened, he saw no man, but they led him by the hand and brought him into Damascus. And he was 3 days without sight, and neither did eat nor drink. So, Paul's sight was actually stricken. All right. Paul lost his sight for 3 days. In verse 10, it says, And there was a certain disciple at Damascus named Ananias, and to him said the Lord in a vision, Ananias, and he said, Behold, I am here, Lord. And the Lord said to him, Arise and go into the street which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Judas for one called Saul of Tarsus. For behold, he prayed, and had seen in a vision a man named Ananias coming in, and putting his hand on him, that he might receive his sight. And Ananias answered, Lord, I have heard by many of this man how much evil he had done to thy saints at Jerusalem. And here he had authority from the chief priests to bind all that call on thy name. So they actually persecuted Israelites that was calling on the name of Yahushua, man. It says, but the Lord said to him, Go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. For I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake. And so Paul was commissioned to go to the Gentiles. Now, were there actual Gentiles? The answer is no. Because when Paul went to those lands, all right, he didn't speak with the actual natural Gentiles. Okay? And he actually mentioned that in different epistles that he wrote. All right? In certain epistles that he wrote, all right, he mentioned who he was speaking to. All right? Let's go to the book of because you gotta remember, Yahushua was an Israelite. Okay? First and foremost, an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. Alright? And what sense would it make for Paul, alright, to go into a heathen and mention our Lord Yahushua? They're gonna look at him like he got two fucking heads. And like, yo, what are you talking about? But see, there were Israelites that was in other lands that heard the fame of Yahushua. Alright? And some of them knew they were Israelites too. And some didn't. Alright? But Paul didn't go to any and everybody. Alright? This is Paul going to these different lands, speaking about Yahushua, speaking about King David, Abraham. Oh man. This is the book of Romans 11:1. I say then, this is Paul speaking to the Israelites in Rome. I say then, had the Most High cast away his people? The Most High forbid, for I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. All right, so Paul made clear that he was an Israelite. All right. Now, Paul had Roman citizenship, but Paul was an Israelite. All right. Doesn't mean that, well, Paul was a Roman, it must have been an Edomite. No, hell no. Paul was an Israelite. See, just like today, you know, the guy, the NBA hoop star, Giannis Antetokounmpo, all right? They call him the Greek Freak. Now, is he an actual Grecian? Hell no. You know, I mean, come on, man. He got a Greek name, you know, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and they call him the Greek Freak because he born and raised in Greece. But does that make him an actual Grecian? No. Does he have Grecian citizenship? Yes, he do. Yes, he do, because he was born and raised there. All right. And that's all that simply means. All right. This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 1. I say the truth in the anointed. I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from the anointed, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites. Right, who are Israelites. To whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, the anointed, which is Yahushua, came, who was over all, the Most High blessed forever, so be it. All right. So concerning the flesh, all right, as concerning the flesh, Yahushua came. All right, Yahushua didn't come for all people. He came for one people. He said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So Yahushua didn't come out here and he was like, I'm going to teach all people. I'm going to come out here and I'm going to save. I'm going to bring back all people back into the Most High. Yahweh. No, he went to Israelites, okay? He commanded his disciples to what? Go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Matthew 10. 5 and 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He didn't say go to the lost sheep of the house of Moab, Ephraim. I mean, not Ephraim, but Elam, I'm sorry. He didn't say go to the lost sheep of Moab, Elam, Ishmael, Ham, Japheth, Esau. All right, Ashur. He didn't say that. He said go to the lost sheep. He said, but rather go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, which are the Israelites. All right, that was lost. All right, lost without their it was lost spiritually. All right, because why? Israel had went off, man. We went off as a nation. All right. Even over here, excuse me. All right. Even over here, Jake is over here doing, committing iniquity as well. All right. It says, that's it on that precept slide. Read all that precept. This is the book of Ephesians. I'm going to go to 3 first. Ephesians chapter 3, verse 1. For this cause I, Paul, the prisoner of Yahushua HaMashiach, for you Gentiles. Now, what did it mean for you Gentiles? Was Paul speaking about actual heathen? That was natural Gentile? No. How you prove that? Well, we're going to go back to the chapter before. Ephesians 2 and let's go to verse. Let's start at 10. For we are his workmanship, created in Yahushua Mashiach, unto good works, which the Most High had before ordained that we should walk in them. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh. Now, did it mean they was actual Gentiles by by lineage as a people? No, it meaning what? He was acting and doing as the heathen or doing as the Gentiles. All right? Because it goes on to say this. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision, by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands. Meaning what? Jake was out doing all kinds of shit. All right, they wasn't. He's still walking around seeing. But anyways, you had Jake that was uncircumcised in the mind, man, and spiritually, mentally and spiritually. They was uncircumcised. They was doing as the heathen do. All right, coming out of that, into that Hellenistic period, man. They was Hellenized, man. Eating and doing things like the heathen do, man. Which we were ought not to do as a nation, being commanded by the Most High himself, instructed Moses to give us the laws, commandments, and statutes, which separated us, all right, from the heathen. Because we're the chosen, beloved, and the Heavenly Father made, and he gave us his law. He gave us his law, he gave us his commandments, he gave us his statutes. That's what makes us different than other nations. All right? Because the Most High chose us. The Most High gave us his word. All right, tells you what? He showed his word to Jacob, and his statutes and his judgments to Israel. All right? He had not done so in any other nation. Matter of fact, let me jump in there real quick. Grab that. It's the book of Psalms 147, verse 19. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. So no other nation have known the Most High's laws, statutes, and judgments, man. Only us, man. That's what separates us from them. All right, they're just heathen, man. They're just regular people. We're not regular people. We're not ordinary people. All right, we extraordinary. All right, yeah, I said it. All right, we're extraordinary people, man. We're above other people. Because the Most High made us to be above other people. Not because we made ourselves above other people. The Most High himself. He said he made us to be above all people that are upon the face of the earth. That's clear racism right there. It's separatism and segregation. All right? That's inequality. We're not equal with you heathen. All right? If the Most High wants us to be equal, he would have made us so. The simple fact the Most High puts above you shows you that there's no equality. There's no such thing as equality. All right? I'm talking about equality. Equality is an illusion. Okay? Equality is an illusion. There's no such thing as equality, man.